SigTalks, episode 003, Time, with a special song dedicated and made specifically for my father called Do Not Forget Me.
Hello, and welcome to SigTalks with your host, Dr. Carrie Sigafoose, your home for the chiropractic philosophy, where we discuss the teachings of Dr. James Sigafoose, from his writings to his talks and his many audio presentations.
Dr. James Sigafoose.
I thought what we would talk about tonight is something that I know is a problem, and it's a thing called time. What we do with it, because it always amazes me how if you want something done, you always did say, if you want something done, go to a busy person, and they'll get it done. And that doesn't make sense. You think if you wanted something done, you go to a person who wasn't busy. But the deal is that the busy people always have enough time to be able to do things that are a priority. And the people that are busy seem to be doing a lot of things, but none of it is priority. And yet their day is filled up, just completely full, and there's something wrong there. So I thought we need to look at that. And so, and another thing is balance. I know that I've talked to, for instance, Shifting. Now, Shifting running, at the time, was running about 2,700 visits a week, something like that, which is a pretty big number. And yet he was coaching soccer. So he had time to coach soccer. He did his workout. He did all the things he's supposed to do, plus he took care of all those people. And, so how is it that he had time to do all that? And then there's people who only do 100, 150 visits a day. You can't get them to do much anything. And they say, I don't have the time. But that's not a true statement. Because life is about balance. And it's about being the best you can be in all the facets of your life, not just one of them. And, in my early days, I always thought success was related directly and only, for that matter, to your income. How much money did you make, and how many people did you see? That was all I thought was. As a matter of fact, that's all I could think of. What was my value? How much money was I making? And then as I got older, I put less and less emphasis on the significance of money and value, for that matter, and sort of consider my relationship as the basis for success. My relationship not only with family, but with friends, with other things outside of the business. And the very first thing that you have to do in managing your time, which we all have to do, is take an inventory. And you might want to write this down and do it yourself, because where do you spend most of your time? That's the first thing. And if you find you spend a majority of your time in only one area, and the chances are you're living in an unbalanced life, and then you might be successful in that one area, but all the other areas of your life will surely suffer. And so therefore my advice is to anybody looking for more peace and fulfillment and less stress is to think of your life as a pie, and you have to divide it up equally.
First and foremost, I would like to say thank you for taking the time to listen to this podcast, because without you, there would be no reason to do it. There's not much that my father did not do that he wanted to do. There's not much that my father did not do that he said he would do. It took years of incredibly hard work for my father to achieve the amount of success he achieved. In the beginning, I would have to say that he did not have balance. It was 100%, 200% the office, and that was it, period. So everything on this phone consultation is from experience and from the heart. If you take nothing away from this audio, take one thing. It is all about balance and being in the present. Because, as he said, yesterday is a canceled note and tomorrow is a promissory note. Right now is the only time that you have. There is nothing wrong with planning and strategizing about your week to come, which is investing in your practice and your family. But when you are with one or the other, you must be there 100%. Do you see what Dr. Sigafoose was trying to say here? All things are important, but we have to control where and what we do and not let time get away from us. When you're in the office, focus on what you do best. That's drawing in patients and earns you the biggest financial reward. Do not waste your time being the CA when you have hired one to do all those things for you. If you take the time to educate them and teach them what they need to do and what needs to be done, then you need to step away and let them do the job you hired them for. 80% of your time should be spent adjusting and prospecting to get new patients into your office. You must let go of what is not important. If it does not enhance your life, let it go, because massive action turns into massive results. And if you do everything efficiently by not waiting and wasting time and doing it now, then time is irrelevant. And you will have met your goals. Because being successful is meeting all your goals and not how much money you have. With that, I want to leave you to think about one thing. If you had only 48 hours left to live, what all would you do? Write it down, and tomorrow read it, and then do it. But always keep in mind to do the things that are urgent, not the things you think are important. In the end, my father lay in his home with all his friends and family around him, just coming back from speaking at the ICA conference, not because it was important, but because his daughter, Selena, asked him to, and because to him, chiropractic is urgent. He found his balance. Now find yours. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, I love you because you love the things I love. Stay tuned for the song dedicated to my father in its entirety.
Thank you for joining us today. If you're interested in more of Dr. Sigafoose's material, head on over for your daily dose of chiropractic philosophy to www.sigafoose.com and register for our free newsletter and to find today's audio clip of Dr. Sigafoose in its entirety. Remember to give, love, do, and serve.